Cold open, it's the fourth quarter of a close playoff game. The ball swings to the corner, and there he is. A professional basketball player, completely alone, holding the most valuable shot in the sport. Nobody's within 10 feet of him. Now your first instinct is to blame someone. A blown rotation, a lazy defender, a coach screaming on the sideline. But here's the thing, nobody made a mistake. That player was left open on purpose. His defender looked at him, did a calculation in a fraction of a second, and decided, this is the shot we want them to take. By the end of this video, you'll understand why the smartest defenses in the NBA are deliberately designed to give up open threes, and why, in a league obsessed with the three-point shot, conceding it is sometimes the most rational thing you can do. Part 1. The math that broke basketball. Now, to understand the defense, you first have to understand what it's defending against. For most of NBA history, the three-pointer was treated like a gimmick. When the league added the line in 1979, coaches barely used it. The game lived in the mid-range, long two-point jumpers, contested fadeaways, the shots your dad still calls real basketball. Then, sometime in the 2000s, people started doing something dangerous. They did the math. Here's the calculation that changed everything. A league average shooter hits about 36% of his threes. That sounds bad. He's missing almost 2 out of 3. But 36% of 3 points is 1.08 points every time he shoots. Meanwhile, a long two-pointer that goes in 40% of the time, that's only 0.8 points per attempt. Same difficulty, same effort, nearly 30% more value. Once teams internalized this, offense transformed. In 2004, NBA teams averaged about 15 three-point attempts per game. 20 years later, that number more than doubled. The mid-range didn't just decline, it was systematically hunted to near extinction by front offices armed with spreadsheets. So here's the question this video is actually about. If the three-pointer is the most efficient shot in basketball, why would any defense ever choose to give one up? Part 2. You can't guard everything. Here's the uncomfortable truth about defense in the modern NBA. It is mathematically impossible to take everything away. Think about the geometry. A basketball court is about 500 square feet of usable offensive space per side. You have 5 defenders, the offense has 5 players, a ball that moves faster than any human can run, and a rulebook that has spent 40 years being rewritten to help them. Every defensive scheme is a budget. You have a limited amount of coverage to spend, and every dollar you spend in one place is a dollar you don't have somewhere else. Send 2 defenders at a superstar? Somebody's open. Protect the rim against a driving guard? Somebody's open. Chase a shooter around a screen? You guessed it, somebody's open. So modern defensive coordinators stopped asking the impossible question, how do we take everything away, and started asking a much smarter one. If we have to give something up, what do we give? And that question has a precise data-driven answer, because here's the secret. Not all open threes are the same shot. Part 3. The hierarchy of shots. Analytics departments rank every shot on the floor by expected value, and when you do that, a clear hierarchy appears. At the top, shots at the rim. Layups and dunks go in over 60% of the time. 2 points at 65% is 1.3 points per possession. Nothing else comes close. This is the shot defenses protect first, always at any cost. Next, free throws. Then the corner 3. It's the shortest 3 on the floor, about 2 feet closer than the top of the arc, and usually the product of a defense already in rotation. Then the above-the-break 3, then at the very bottom, the mid-range jumper. Now watch what happens when you overlay one more variable, who's shooting. An open 3 from Stephen Curry is worth roughly 1.3 points, as good as a layup. An open 3 from a center who shoots 29%? That's 0.87 points. Worse than the mid-range shots everyone abandoned. Suddenly, the defense's job comes into focus. You're not trying to prevent threes, you're trying to control which threes happen, funneling shots away from the rim and away from elite shooters, toward the worst shooter on the floor, in the least comfortable spot, late in the clock. This is why you see schemes like drop coverage, where a big man sags back into the paint against the pick and roll. Milwaukee built a championship defense on this with Brook Lopez, wall off the rim, live with jumpers. It's why teams famously ignored players like Ben Simmons or prime Rajon Rondo entirely. Their defenders would stand in the paint like an extra rim protector, essentially playing 5-on-4, daring them to shoot. The open man in the corner from our cold open? Watch the film again. He's the offense's worst shooter. His defender is tagging the roller, bumping the big man, diving to the rim, taking away a 65% shot and offering a 33% one instead. That's not a breakdown, that's the design. Part 4. Why the ball always wins. But there's a second reason defenses concede open threes, and it's even more fundamental. The ball moves faster than people do. A crisp swing pass travels from one side of the court to the other in well under a second. A defender closing out from the paint to the corner needs 2, sometimes 3. Which means that once a defense sends help, once it commits 2 defenders to the ball, a good offense can always manufacture an open 3. It's just physics. Rotate, swing, swing, shot. Coaches know this, so they don't try to eliminate the open 3. They try to make it a long journey, forcing 3 or 4 extra passes, eating clock, forcing the shot to come from the weakest link. Every extra pass is another chance for a deflection, a fumble, a hesitation. And here's the final piece, the part that sounds almost like a cheat code. Research on opponent shooting has shown something strange. Defenses have far more control over where shots come from than whether they go in. Opponent three-point percentage barely carries over from month to month. It's mostly noise, variance. In other words, an open 3 is partly a coin flip, and defenses learn to be comfortable losing the coin flip as long as they're the ones choosing the coin. Part 5. The arms race. Of course, offenses aren't standing still. The obvious counter to leave the bad shooter open is simple. Stop having bad shooters, and that's exactly what's happening. Centers who never shot are now taking 5 threes a game. Draft boards quietly punish anyone who can't stretch the floor. The non-shooter, the player defenses could safely ignore, is going extinct, which pushes defenses to evolve again. More switching, more aggressive gambles, more exotic zones. Every solution creates the next problem. That's the beautiful, brutal logic of an arms race. Outro/callback. So the next time you see a player standing all alone behind the arc, wide open, and the commentator groans about a defensive breakdown, look closer. Check who he is. Check where he's standing. Check what the defense protected instead. Because in the modern NBA, an open 3 usually isn't a mistake, it's an offer. The defense ran the numbers, looked that player in the eye, and made a bet that of all the ways to lose a possession, this one loses the least. Sometimes the shot goes in and the bet looks foolish. But basketball isn't played one possession at a time, it's played 100 possessions a night, 82 nights a year, and over 100 possessions, the math always gets its money back. Beat. If you enjoyed this one, you might like our video on why the mid-range jumper died, because it turns out the same math that killed it is the reason that corner is open. See you in the next one.